Archimex login confirmed.
Welcome to the Lodge. You've accessed
the Lodgecast experience.
Warning, warning. Dangerous spoilers ahead. Enjoy.
Hello to Matt's Movie Lodge. I am Ray Don Chong. I want to send love and light to you all at this time. And now, by the power vested in me, I summon the Lodgecast.
The Lodgecast is a little podcast where we watch weird movies, so you don't have to.
The Lodgecast, baby.
Lodgecast, gonna smoke grass. Lodgecast, missing movie pass. Lodgecast,
We're gonna watch some crap.
Lodgecast,
And then the Lodge Master chats.
With Lucas and Bishki.
Episode 93, Promising Young Woman. Hello and welcome to another scintillating edition of the Lodgecast. I'm your Lodge Master. With me as always is Brother Bishki.
Hello, baby.
Brother Lucas.
Good evening.
And tonight we have a constellation of star guests. We have Sister Brandy.
Hello, hello.
And Sister Jessie.
Hey there.
We've all gathered here tonight to discuss a film called Promising Young Woman. And listen, we are nothing if not a completely professional podcast. There is no discussion beforehand about any movie that we cover. You have to know this. The listener gets to hear us hot and fresh out the kitchen. And suffice it to say, I have absolutely no idea how the bones are going to drop on this particular film tonight. But I do think, love it or hate it, this film should be seen by as many of our listeners as possible.
Yeah.
Because it is of right now, and it is a spicy one. So therefore, we are going to attempt to be a bit vague about some of the particulars in this twisty-turny plot. But ideally, I recommend you turning this episode off right now, watching the film, and then returning to the ridiculously insightful discussion we're about to have. So that's the prelude. So let's dig in. So did anybody know anything about this going in?
I went in totally blind.
I do remember that we saw the trailer for this a lot, like a year ago. This movie was supposed to come out. It was on the Lodgecast schedule for April. And then world history intruded, and now we had to wait to see it. But I do remember the trailer, so I kind of knew from the trailer what we were getting into a little bit, but not fully what we were getting into. But yeah.
I saw the trailer and was hooked already. I wanted to see this. This was like so up my alley.
It was on your list from the jump.
High on my list. But I only saw the preview like a month ago, so I didn't see it when it originally was slated.
Brother Lucas, did you know anything about this?
Yeah, I remember seeing this trailer back in the day, and I felt the trailer kind of showed you maybe too much of what you were about to see.
Yeah.
And I'd seen some online chatter about the elements of the movie, which I won't really get into, but I had a pretty sturdy awareness of it going in because it seemed like such a provocative film.
Yes, very provocative. And I felt the same way about the trailer. That's why, like, 10 seconds in, I shut the trailer off.
I wish I did.
I had a little glimpse of what was to come, but not the full picture by any means. It's written and directed by Emerald Fennell, which is an amazing name. Know nothing about her other than that she is an actor.
She plays Camilla Parker Bowles on The Crown,
which is a big deal, or so I've heard. I don't watch The Crown, but some people swear by it.
She also has a cameo in this.
Yes.
She appears as a YouTube makeup
blogger,
guru, which is a great cameo idea for a director. Like that's the perfect amount you should be in your own movie, I feel.
Yeah.
But right off the bat, like the general idea of this film is that there is this woman played by Carey Mulligan who lures men into her orbit as she pretends to be too drunk to function, and she exacts revenge on them when they attempt to take advantage of her. And throughout the movie, you realize why she's doing that, what drives her, and kind of how that all plays out as the tension keeps rising throughout as you learn more and more. So right off the bat, like, the opening credits are just khaki crotches gyrating on a dance floor in a club. And I smiling ear to ear at that. Like, I've never seen that particular angle. Just business casual khaki dude crotches.
Polos and chinos
bumping and
gyrating.
It instantly puts you in the world. It puts you can smell all the various clashing douchebag colognes on these dudes. And you're there, you're in the club. The movie kind of feels like a series of vignettes at a certain point with the different men she meets. Like, we start off where she meets Adam Brody, and it kind of sets the stage for what her general MO is. And the acting I thought was so top notch. Like, what did you guys think of the intro getting us into this world?
Yeah, I thought it was sort of the perfect introduction sentence to the whole thesis of the film. Like, you're on that journey in that scene where you think Adam Brody, it's perfect casting because you're like, oh, he's the nice guy. He's going to take care of this situation. He's going to do the right thing because those other two guys are clearly the douches. But then that's the beauty of the film is you find out he's not the nice guy. It's the nice guys who pretend to be nice guys and then do the bad things. So I loved the casting choices in this film. All of the comedic actors who are playing dramatic roles, fantastic.
The cast is absolutely bonkers. It's Carey Mulligan, it's Adam Brody, it's Clancy Brown playing Carey Mulligan's dad in like a straight role. He doesn't have any ulterior sinister motives. He's just straight up lovable Clancy Brown, which is great. Jennifer Coolidge is her mom. Great. Alison Brie, Connie Britton, Laverne Cox, Sam Richardson from Veep, Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
8th grade director Bo Burnham has a large role.
Molly motherfucking Shannon is in this. Uncredited Shannon. Alfred Molina. I mean, it's out of control. And everybody has come to play, at least in my opinion. Like, I think they knew that the material was strong and they fucking brought it.
And like, not playing their usual, characters either. Because like the guys that they picked to have Carey take home as these just sleazes.
Yeah,
they're
McLovin?
The nice guy.
Like
McLovin, yes.
Oh my God, McLovin with his like little like thirst trap apartment with his 3 dream catchers and his Himalayan light. It's just like, oh, you can tell he does this like on a regular.
Yeah, that is exactly what makes it feel so fresh and so like of the now. It's like, we know what Harvey Weinstein looks like. Now, what about all the underlings that facilitated it or were operating in the shadows, The
guys that are taking the girl home to protect her from other really bad guys.
Right.
I was going to protect her because the other really bad guys were around.
And they're always like, oh, you're so pretty.
So pretty.
McLovin was like, you don't even need makeup. Guys don't even like makeup. You're so pretty. like so genius. That it's so,
Who thought she was murdering these guys like right off the bat? Like, I thought she was just a serial, revenge murderer.
I was hoping.
Well, we slowly realized she's keeping a journal with little tally marks, and there are red ones and there are black ones, and there are fewer red ones. So,
I think she's ultimately just scolding them, or maybe she's doing other things, like in terms of I was a little confused, but I guess
not really clear.
They don't spell it out.
The fact that we don't know is kind of beautiful. It's like it's allowing us to just imagine the extent of what she's doing. which is not normal in movies these days. Everything's so over-explained all the time. So listen, guys, we got a very quiet LT on our hands here, which could be a very dangerous thing. So we got to check in with the boy. We got to see if this is a student feature or if he fell asleep during it. Like, what's going on, Lucas? Where are you at this point?
I'm right there with you all. I mean, it's a very high glossy, like well-made, crafted film. Like, I like the art direction, like every setting very vividly brought to life.
Wow.
And the
Okay.
cast, it's like a stacked cast, like you mentioned, and like essentially every scene is the audition scene. It's like a series of short films,
That's
like
true.
strung together. Like every kind of scene works on its own, and is shot, interestingly or blocked a certain way. But yeah, when in the early goings, I wasn't really clear on what the story was. Like, I knew what the character was. Like, I knew she was like this Avenger of some kind. Like, I kind of looked at her like Charles Bronson from Death Wish, except
yes,
she was just like terrorizing, date rapists. But after a while, I was like, where is this going? I'm not quite sure what the end game is here.
But then it gets going.
Yeah.
Where
then
are
you
we?
find
Then it gets
out.
going, and then it has an end game
Yeah.
that I don't know if anybody sees coming. But that's true. And usually when a movie feels like vignettes or a collection of short films, usually that's annoying to me. And you can really, the structure of it calls itself out, and you're like, is this even a movie? Like, what is this? But it did not bug me at all because the scenes were so strong. Like every one of these audition scenes is played to the hilt. Like Alison Brie's scene in the restaurant. Holy shit.
So good.
That's where the addiction becomes the mission, where she has a purpose all of a sudden. You're just like, I see where it's going.
Yes.
The gears are turning and you see it starting to unfold in that scene, and it's so good.
The scene with Connie Britton as her former dean of her school, amazing. Like every scene is just like knocked out of the park with these guys. And Bo Burnham, like I might be like a Bo Burnham super fan at this point because, I love 8th Grade. And I thought his performance in this was just like out of this world. He is so the guy that he played. Like he inhabits it so perfectly. That like I was fucking mystified. Like their chemistry was clicking. Oh man,
he's the Lloyd Dobler.
Ooh, he is.
He's the Lloyd Dobler. He's so perfect, but he's not the cool guy. He's not the flashy guy.
Nope.
He doesn't have the lines,
and that's what makes him interesting.
Yep.
You're like, I know this guy. I've met this guy 450,000 times,
and you think he's perfect.
in my real life.
He's perfect for her.
When he drinks the coffee, dynamite. You can feel how much what that meant. That magnetism in that moment was just amazing.
I think I clapped.
Yeah.
Sitting alone by myself. And that's something. So the music in this is fantastic. In the Uber with Adam Brody, one of my favorite songs of all time is playing To Become One by the Spice Girls.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like a modern ominous cover, which we usually make fun of, but it's of It's Raining Men in the opening. And because it's so ironic here, I give it a pass. I'm like, you can do an ominous cover of It's Raining Men. I'm gonna let that slide. That's
Blessing.
fine.
I didn't even know Paris Hilton sang songs.
Oh, whoa, what?
Yeah, I don't know where I was at, but I was like, what?
The Paris Hilton song has got to be the Salad Dragon.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That whole scene.
The Salad Dragon.
A scene in a movie that is so bizarre, baffling, or transcendent that it instantly justifies the price of admission. Or Reese Witherspoon's leafy transformation in A Wrinkle in Time.
It's Bo Burnham and Carey Mulligan in a drugstore, and The Stars Are Blind by Paris Hilton comes on. That was her big stab at pop superstardom. And he knows all the lyrics, and then she knows all the lyrics, and they start this like beautiful lip syncing meet cute, even though they already know each other.
But
in
does
the
he know her
drugstore.
from before? Because I feel like that's the first time we see what she was like maybe before the tragedy, you know? And you see she was fun.
Yeah.
So.
And it intercuts with them kind of falling in if you're going to do a falling in love montage, this is how you do it. Terapa Pharmacy. It felt fresh again. Like, when was the last time a fucking falling in love montage felt good in a movie, or not perfunctory?
And it was poking fun at itself the whole time. They knew that they're being dumb and cheesy, so.
It seemed to me almost like a music video, like a love scene in a music video. And so it's like dreamy, like this is out of this world for her. Like, this is not the type of thing she does, falling in love, being cute. So it was so kind of dreamy. And at first I was like, okay, this is totally the salad dragon scene. But I kind of felt it sort of made sense in the emotional state they were trying to tell with that.
Yes, it was a load-bearing, perfectly placed salad dragon. It's not left field. It feels perfectly integrated. So, yeah, it's a special kind of salad dragon for a special kind of scene. What did you boys think of that dragon?
I mean, it's tough to, she's in the sort of revenge mode. Like, she's always conniving. So to have her sort of falling in love, something's going to trigger her back into revenge mode.
Right.
I thought it was a little schmaltzy, but I'm with you. It was fine. It was good. I like Paris Hilton and dancing to it.
You were unable to give your heart to it, though, because
I was just
going to get dark.
She just seems so, I'm familiar with, sort of the rape revenge genre, and she's just out for revenge, and then she turns, and then I know this is going to end up bad, but
you just don't trust it.
You don't try. I couldn't just go along with it. Like, this is going to be a happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the brown-eyed girl sequence in Sleeping with the Enemy. It's like, things are pretty happy right now, but
shit's going to go
storms illumined.
Dancing with theater props and some weird.
Yes. There was one scene that I felt flirted with student feature certification, and I was getting a little worried there. And I was watching it through Lucas's eyes at that point. And it was a scene where she's fighting with a guy in a truck, and she gets out and smashes his tail lights with a crowbar. And the guy's performance is 80 yard or something, or he was somebody's friend, or he won a contest. And that was the only part of this movie that didn't really fit for me. But, you forget about it. You guys have probably already forgot about it. But
I remember it.
That's the only point I was really worried.
Yeah, I remember that scene. I don't remember what initiates it, though, because I thought she had something happen before that she couldn't react to. And that was her way of blowing off steam or something. And I can't remember what triggered it. Or maybe there was no trigger. Maybe she was just having a moment. But the movie reminded me a lot of Heathers with Christian Slater and Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
Which had similar kind of anarchist vibes and just that kind of biting satire. But what's funny about the Salad Dragon, I remember, thinking Bo Burnham was inspired casting and absolutely delivers a star, making turn as this doctor, old college friend of hers, from the med school days. But I didn't think it was them in the pharmacy singing. I thought for some reason the Salad Dragon was with Carey Mulligan and Connie Britton in the principal's, the dean's office. I thought that was the moment where I was oh wow, this is getting really, really, interesting.
I think almost all of the big tentpole scenes, you could make an argument that they're Salad Dragons. They're so strong. The Alfred Molina scene.
Loved it.
I've never seen anything like that. It's a 4-bone scene for sure, because we're coming from the point of view of he knows what he did. He's been waiting for her to show up at his house, and he is already completely broken. Every movie that guy pops up in, he finds the way to fucking nail it. And I couldn't have been more impressed with that scene.
I loved that scene because he's the only one who remembered Nina's name, who it was important enough to him to
remember it.
And he was so full of contrition and willing to accept whatever punishment she was going to dole out, but she forgives him. And that was so strong to me. I loved it.
Yeah, but it's also tense because you don't know what she's going to fucking do. You know, like she has this poker face on.
She like recoils when he goes to reach out to her for forgiveness. You know, she goes in there for a fight and then he reaches out to her for forgiveness and she recoils from that even more than like him yelling at her. You know, it's like she doesn't want that tenderness towards her and he holds her hand.
She wants to fight.
She wants to fight him and like it almost like scares her more that she doesn't hate him all of a sudden or doesn't want him dead. And it's like, oh, it's such a good scene. Yeah. So good.
There was another tiny a mini salad dragon moment.
Ooh, crouton?
A bite of salad.
So what are we calling these? Are we calling these croutons?
I like crouton.
I like crouton.
Crouton. It's a crouton. Yeah.
It's a little crunchy treat.
There's like a crouton where Laverne Cox is meeting, kind of hanging out with Bo Burnham in the cafe, getting to know him.
Grilling him.
And she's grilling him about killing children. And it seems to come out of nowhere and it's really awkward and ends really awkwardly. That was the one moment of the film, the whole film, that I was like, that rubbed me weirdly. Like, it wasn't natural. It was very odd.
Very odd. But I took it to mean, like, maybe she could smell something was a little off with this guy and was testing him, you know? And they all have weird sense of humor, so...
That's a good call, though. A good interpretation.
And he is a pediatric surgeon, so it's not completely out of nowhere. She's not asking an insurance adjuster if he's killed any children.
Well, there's the kid's leukemia joke, too, that I was like, whoa, they went there.
Yeah. Yeah. That all lends to the general Heathers vibe too that Lucas was mentioning. It's like this movie doesn't give a fuck about if you're offended or not, which is exhilarating when it's coming from so many new angles that you haven't seen before. So we're gonna get extra vague toward the end game here, where she enacts her final vengeance master plan. But there's an ominous orchestral version of Toxic by Britney Spears that I thought was really nice.
So good.
As she's approaching this end game. You know, and it didn't really draw attention to itself. It was very slow. And if, you know, you kind of, your brain is like, I know this song. Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's Toxic. And then it's over. Like they don't triple underline it like I think a lesser movie might. And I mean, at least I completely didn't see it coming.
No.
What happens in this film? Like, did any of you see or think that what actually happens was about to happen? Anything like it?
Yeah, I kind of saw it coming because there was some clickbait headline that kind of colored it for me that I stumbled across.
No.
And so when she got there, we got to the end and it started to go like down the left of the fork in the road. I was like, yeah, I think I know where this is going. And there's other movies I could reference, which I won't because they're too much of a giveaway, but they're out there.
This is a good exercise for us. It's a good exercise to try to stay vague about this. But at first I was kind of knocked off track with it. And I was like, is this the way this needs to go?
I loved
but
it.
But then I recognized that it was a statement, like especially how they play it. It's a big statement move. And the satire continues. Like it's like you're swinging through with a golf swing and the satire swing continues. It doesn't stop. It just mutates a little bit. And by the end, I'm like, shit, that's completely satisfying, even though I was kind of scared at first that it wouldn't be.
Well, Carey's performance was so commanding and in charge and cunning. So I was like trained to think that she was going to find a way to get out of this. And
it's like we're playing Taboo or something.
So even when the thing happened, I was still like, no. She's got something. Something's
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it wasn't until the colored nails were shown that I was like aghast, like I cannot believe this.
And then it fucking ends. It doesn't belabor it. It doesn't beleaguer it. It's just out. You can't ask for anything more than a movie that knows when to fucking drop the mic. You know?
Yeah, it doesn't go where you want it to go, where you think you want it to go.
Right.
Where you think you want
it to go. Because you think you want a certain ending, but then you're like, oh, this is better.
Yeah.
This gave me something I didn't even know I wanted.
What did you fellows think of the ending? Were you satisfied?
I'll get to it in my bones.
I think, you know, what Sister Brandy was saying, I was kind of hoping for a certain kind of ending. And instead it gave me this other ending. And I wasn't really super stoked on it.
I hear you. I can sense that Bishke's brewing something up. So listen, we're so vague. We've handled it. Let's go to them promising bones. We're gonna go boy, girl here.
Like in gym.
Let's start with Sister Jessie. What do you got here?
Okay. Starting with the title of the film is so genius because when you think of the Brock Turners getting their sentencing and it's the judges talking about what a promising young man that person is. This movie is saying, what about the promising young women who were the victims? And I love that about the title. I love that about the whole point of the movie. I was not a Carey Mulligan fan before this. I kind of was like, she's okay. She was good in An Education. I really liked her in that. But then after this film, I am blown away by her performance. She was so confident and commanding and just really... I felt as though, as an audience member, I was taken a hold of by the shoulders and dragged through this movie. I didn't have any free will of what to think. I was told what to think. And because of that, I was surprised again and again because I was led down this path only to find out it was that thing, only to find out that's what was going on. So I loved being directed like that. And that must be the director's... strength is, she brought us on a journey. So I'm not even going to be shy and I'm going to give it 4 bones because boom. 4 bones.
That's right.
Wow.
Extremely strong bones. After the movie ended, I was like, my mind was like blown. I sat there for like 10 minutes just thinking. I texted my friends. I was like, you have to see this movie. You have to watch it. Don't look up anything about it. Just watch it. And that doesn't happen to me a lot. A lot of times. And especially the third act when I'm usually disappointed, like the movie's petering out. It's so predictable. Yeah. This one had me on the edge of my seat.
That is pure word of mouth advertising that most movies can only dream of, like it's the same thing that drives viral videos on the internet. It's like, I have to give this to someone.
Yes.
I have to tell somebody about this. And that's like the purest form of advertising that there is. And it's always beautiful when it happens. And it's beautiful when it takes hold of you and you like become an evangelical Christian for a night where you're just like, you gotta see this fucking movie. Have you heard the good word? Yeah.
A fisher of men.
All right. That's a 4 boner from Jessie.
It sure is. A strong one.
That's 4 meaty bones. We've just discovered the bone with meat on it emoji that we got to be using now. So let's throw a little bit of water on that and go to Brother Lucas. What do you got cooking up?
I enjoyed the film. It was definitely like a breath of fresh air with, I feel like, a lot of the stuff we've been stuck at home watching during quarantine. And it feels like this movie's reputation preceded it because I somehow like had just seen headlines about it, even though I didn't read them. I tried to stay away from them. But
you're too plugged in.
You're just scrolling down a homepage. It's like I can't not just randomly see something. It's tough. It's tough out there for a cinephile. Tough. Yeah, that ending definitely can affect your bone count. I kind of felt like maybe structurally I would have liked it to start like earlier and maybe give us like a scene with her and her friend Nina before Nina is gone, but
has something befall her.
Yeah, like I don't know. I just felt like because you started so late in the game, it doesn't really give you anywhere to go like emotionally. You're kind of playing the same beat emotionally like for every scene. And then I got kind of lost in the timeline as I was watching it because I was like, what's going on here? And then finally, when it like starts to kick in the second half, I was like, okay, I think I know what's going on here. And that being said, like, I just was hoping, I guess it was more of a type A ending instead of a type B ending. So yeah, I don't know. Really,
these bones sound like they're painful coming out. They're coming out sideways.
I love the cast. It's got a great supporting cast. I'll give it 2.5 bones. I thought it was solid. Technically solid. Yeah.
Sounds good. 2.5 bones. We'll take it. We'll take it and run. All right. Sister Brandy, what are you doing with your bones?
Oh, my bones are aplenty. I'm gonna give it 3.5 bones.
Nice.
I was really, really excited to see this one after I saw the preview, and I was really hyped for some revenge. And I got some of it, like the scenes where they tee it up, where she's taking these guys home, and they are just saying all the things that just make your blood curdle as a woman, and you want to like punch all these guys, and then she gives it up a little too early, and I'm just like. And then she just goes to leave. I'm like, oh, wait. And if she is doing more to some of them, I would have liked to see a little taste of that. And they kind of give you a little taste or a little fake out with the hot dog or whatever jelly or whatever is on her hand the next day when she's doing her fake walk of shame. That's really her. It's like you see a walk of shame, but you get the walk of empowerment from her.
Yes.
So it's kind of an awesome reversal.
A good point. But you wanted some real blood to be flowing and spattering.
And in parts, I appreciated the, what's the word?
Restrained.
Very restrained with everything. And at a certain point, I kind of wanted it to just like cut loose. And at the end, it started to, and like we kind of got that. So I finally got it at the end, but I would have liked it a little bit earlier.
Sure.
Everything that she had planned was great. All of her little mini plans on all the people that had, wronged her friend. And I thought the one with Alison Brie was the most important one because she was the female blaming, friend. She called herself a friend. And like then
it felt so real, so crushingly real.
That one I think was my favorite, where she teed her up to just have a little bit of, her own medicine. And that was great. That was so good. Yeah. And it was, I thought all the little mini stories were great. The ending I really liked. I thought they put a bow on it, and 3.5 bones for me. I enjoyed it.
3.5 bones from Sister Brandy. All right. Bishki's going to be stingy. What are you doing, Bishki? What are you doing?
First off, I'll agree with Jesse. You got to see this movie and you have to contend with it. Like, go see it. I mean, don't go anywhere, but just rent it.
Stay put.
Go to your living room.
Back in 2018, episode 9, we covered a rape revenge film called Revenge, which was a stunning debut from female writer-director Coralie Farge, I believe. And Promising Young Woman, I think we have a stunning debut from writer-director Emerald Fennell. Super confidently directed and very well thought out visually. I loved the look and production design, everything. In terms of the theme, I'm reminded of something Oprah said in a podcast. She said, "Now is not the time for forgiveness. Now is the time for anger," which I think.
You wanted blood too, didn't you?
Well, no. I think it's an interesting theme. I think in terms of the the movie, it's kind of loaded dice. Like every guy in the movie is either a rapist or a rape apologist, and every woman in the movie is kind of a rape apologist. And
not Clancy Brown, not sweet Clancy Brown.
Not Clancy Brown, not Clancy Brown. And so it's like
for once.
Yeah.
Some of the plot mechanics, which we didn't get into, I kind of found myself scratching my head. And I wasn't, like LT, I wasn't completely satisfied with the ending. But throughout this film, I was glued to the screen. You know, I think,
there you go.
Carey Mulligan, she'll be nominated as she should be. And, you know, I think it's definitely a major film of the Me Too moment.
Of course.
I would love to see the split of the audience score in Rotten Tomatoes of men versus women.
Boy. Oh boy!
Yeah.
We do not have those metrics, but I think it's definitely going to start a conversation around many things. I mean, the film is many things, and I did enjoy it. I'm going to give it what LT gave it, 2.5 bones. And
2.5.
And I would love to talk about it more in detail with people once they've seen it.
Hit us up in those comments, fam.
Yes.
There's certain plot elements that I really wanted to talk about that we didn't want to spoil. But anyway, 2.5 bones.
Yep.
See it.
See it. All right. So we got 4, an unashamed 4, 2.5, 3.5, back down to 2.5. And again, I think for me, Bo Burnham must be a lucky charm. The movie he directed, 8th grade, got a rare 4 bones out of me. And so did this. 4 bones. 4 fucking bones. I loved this movie. I was smiling, a horrified smile the entire time. The tension was ratcheting up inside of me in ways I didn't know I could still feel. How can something be so light and so heavy at once? There are literally billions of ways this could have gone horrendously wrong. And it did not. It somehow all stayed on the tracks. Everything is so fresh with this that, like Jesse said, I feel like the power of the Holy Spirit is inside of me, and I need to tell people about this. That's why I'm like, we can't spoil this for people, even though we have a spoiler warning. I won't do it. I won't blaspheme against this film by spoiling it. So that's something, and it's rare, and it's a 4 boner from me. 4 meaty bones.
Woo!
So there you have it, folks. We're all over the place, but I think we all agreed that it should be seen, and it's the movie of right now. Like, you got to be part of it.
Gotta see it.
Thanks so much for coming on, you guys.
Yes,
it was great to have your insights.
I was excited.
Go spread the word, y'all.
Send us out with a great club hit, Lodge Master.
You want a great club hit? You'll get a great club hit.
Good.
Love and light, everybody.
Love and light.
Love and light.
Go see it.
Don't mind spending some time just hanging here with you, 'cause I don't find too many guys that treat me like you do. Those other guys that wanna take me for a ride, but when I walk they talk of suicide. Some people never get beyond their stupid pride, but you can see the real me inside, and I'm satisfied. Oh no, and I'm satisfied. Oh no, even though the guys are crazy, even though the stars are blind, if you show me real love, baby, I'll show you mine. You make it nice and naughty, make the devil an angel too. Got a heart and soul and body. Let's see what this love can do. Let's see what love can do. Baby, I'm perfect for you.
Go see it. I mean, don't go anywhere, but just rent it.